All right. Hey, guys. It is Sunday, January 8th, 2023. Looking at crude oil. What a mess. What a very difficult instrument to trade these last few months. I've done well. This week was terrible. I got stopped out 3 times. I mean, I got stopped out more than that on some small scalps. I also made some good scalps, but I'm talking 3 times on taking a real position to the long side on these retraces. Got stopped out all 3 times. For me, it was a terrible week. I remember very well on these moves lower, the way it measured was difficult, kind of wonky. I couldn't figure out where to put these labels. I'm not great at Elliott wave. I'm much better at just measuring stuff. And you can see this is the 1618 right here. So that was where my three, although exceeded that, and then it exceeded the 100 twice, came up here by 10 cents, made a new high. But just trying to take these things at face value. That's where I put the 3, 4, 5, and I was okay with that. And then you have this moves up. Although I must say the move up off of this low was not too terribly impulsive, wasn't too exciting. It was very overlapping. It was difficult. It was kind of, what does that mean? Well, maybe it was corrective. And then now with this reaction, and there's looking at the subwaves in here, really has me doubting whether this was right or not. Now, follow the professional analysts. They're the professionals. That's why we're paying. That's why we're in EWT. So the way I'm trading, I don't necessarily need to know about all this long time stuff and getting these labels right, because there's plenty of good trading to be had on the lower time frames. It's tricky business for sure, but I always look at these longer term time frames for clues. And what I would say is the clue right now is that this was not terribly impulsive, and then this move lower looks more impulsive. And I've been saying that for months. Like, these moves lower typically seem to be more impulsive, although here's a perfect contradiction of that. But it gives it all back. It keeps rolling over, and crude just continues to be a mess. Oh, yeah. Good morning, Elliott.
Have a fruit snack?
Yes, you can have a fruit snack. So, anyway, I can't count too well. I just measure stuff. But now I was cool with this. The proportions of all this are acceptable. But now what's terrible is this looks like 3 up, and then now it's rolling, and it's too deep. So this, bulls, like, I suppose if you're a bull, you might be looking at this as a 1-2, but I think that's highly unlikely now. So, I'm not an Elliott wave person, but I've seen all the different scenarios that we have from the professionals. And so, when I was doing this count all through the summer, and I could not figure out where to put these labels, because it just measures not quite right. So, maybe that can be all of that. That kind of makes sense, right? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. And then now this makes sense. So this would be the A. And then this is a corrective bounce. It made a new high by 10 cents. And what kind of a wave might that be? Well, it could be a B wave. And then now, clearly this is 5 waves down. It measures just fine as an impulse. So call that 1. Now this is 2. And then now you're beginning wave 3. So there's a few different counts on the site from the professionals, so definitely follow those, not me. I'm just saying the clues have now persuaded me to stop looking for the bullish side and try to take some short trades. I commented on that in the room on Friday morning. So here's the 4-hour chart. What I would say about this is, you see how these wicks, guys that are into candles, sometimes the wicks will tell you. When you get long wicks, it's telling you can't get any traction in that direction. So in this case, I stayed long. I had a great entry, so I stayed long because of these wicks, not being able to get any traction to the downside. Well, now you could argue that in reverse. You see these long wicks on Friday, can't get any traction to the upside. So, maybe this is a micro third and this is a micro fourth. It looks like that. The technicals are clearly in bearish territory on the 4-hour. And look how this measures. For a 3 down, it covered almost 100% of this whole move up. That's amazing. So, that could be 3 down. It measures kind of weird, but it's on that degree measuring small stuff get used to weird looking extensions in either direction. So this could easily be a 3 down, and this is a wave 4 of some degree. You can see it here. So I mentioned on Friday morning that I would be willing to take a short trade, but not from down here, never shorten the hole. I've learned that lesson. So what I did is, when it popped up into here, I just put on small shorts, not feeling great, confident. This is crazy. Your wave 4, very tricky. Looking at it a little more closely, put on these little It's kind of like a broadening formation, possibly consistent with wave 4 action. What are the techs doing? Not very helpful. Over here you can see the techs are kind of, they've bounced. This is the 1 hour chart basically. So could they roll from here? Sure, of course, absolutely. You could argue there's a little bit of a divergence here on this tool, momentum, but not really anything. There's not really a great setup here, but I went short up here. So my basis is right up in here, 79.80. I mean, excuse me, 74.80 something. Small size short. So I'm not going to take any heat on this because it's a pretty janky, terrible place to try to trade. But if you got to be really careful. So that's the deal. That's what I got. Not much. And just from the same levels that I'm always, these levels have been on my chart for a long time. So can it still be a wave 4 bounce if it comes all the way up in here? Yeah. But I really don't want to see this come all the way back up here. I mean, first of all, I'm going to be out of there, stopping out here. What I would love to see is it just kind of, yeah, it can come up, maybe jigger around a little bit, but at some point it just lets go and sets you up just to get another low. This is like a scalp for a short trade, because if this is if this is one of a downside and that's 2, and this is just a 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 of a micro, smaller degree 1. So what I want to do is cover, if I'm lucky enough to survive this short and you cover it down here, then wait for a larger 3-wave correction, which guess what, it'll probably take us right back up into here, I think, and then I'll get short again. So at the moment, I was trading long all over here, but now it's got me thinking short again, but don't short in the hole. So even though I'm scalping. So, if you're going to short in the hole, at least short on a bounce in the hole, so to speak. All right, that's all I got. Good luck. Crazy, treacherous. Follow the professionals. All right, good luck.